Well, hello Internet, here we are. We have ourselves another one of these voiceover vlogs. I still am not feeling like being in front of a camera right now. However, I feel that my experiences during this should be recorded for future references. Well, the winter is coming. The leaves have changed and are mostly gone. I look out my window and see the trees to be rather bare. When I walk the dog, the grass is full of leaves. The crunching sound of the dried leaves beneath my feet kind of reminds me that, well, fall is here and winter is on its way. That being said, it's a reminder of, well, some of the things that I still have to do before it gets too cold. Back when I parked the trailer, I pulled the battery out of it, cleaned out the fridge, picked up some food and stuff that was in the trailer, but that was pretty much the extent of the way she sat. I'd like to go back through it and make sure I didn't miss any food or anything that might freeze or split during the winter. I believe I covered this in an earlier vlog. However, I'm going to repeat myself once again. I did not use my water system this year in the trailer. For some odd reason this spring, I just didn't feel like using it. And because the last, whatever it's been, 3 years, in the fall always becomes an expensive fall because there are bills due, payments due, and the winterization of the trailer all due pretty much right at the same time within, a few weeks of each other in the same month. And I thought this year I would save the money and not use my water system. And basically because I only used the trailer really once this season for whatever it was, 2 weeks, it wasn't a really big deal to be without a water system because my any water that I used was bottled water, and any toilet flushing that I did was by a pail down the toilet. So the system itself is still as winterized as it was the year before. I am looking into maybe possibility of doing it myself. I know it's going to be a little expensive for startup cost because I have to rebuy my pump that I once had, and I have to buy a 5-gallon pail and a jug or two of the pink windshield or plumbing antifreeze to make it work. However, after the first year or maybe 2 years, it starts to pay for itself. And then if I decide to do what my plans are with that trailer, then what needs to be winterized in there will be very, very little, to the point where I could probably take care of that one and only single line with just compressed air. Of course, a low pressure compressed air. You don't want to be putting 150 psi through those little plastic lines. I Still need to get the truck into the dealership. It is due for its seasonal maintenance. Just make sure nothing's going to fall off before spring, and give the dealership their customary, nearly $300 for an hour work and having the truck in their shop all day. That seems to be the way it works for the past years anyway. I've even started to leave my dash camera running when the truck is in the shop, just to see how many hours it actually physically is being worked on. And yeah, it sits around for the bulk of the day, and then they get it in, do what they need to do, an hour, maybe hour and a half, and then they park it back outside till the end of the day, and then give me a call to say my truck is ready to come pick up. However, this year it does need tires. The tires that are on it are the factory tires from, 2017, possibility of even manufactured in 2016, who knows. And they never were truck tires, they were more car tires, meaning that the traction, how they handled the snow, how they handled the mud, wet grass, stuff like that, was never up to my satisfaction, even when they were brand new. However, me being a professional driver and all, I was able to drive that truck on ice and snow, drive that truck through mud, wet grass, pulling a trailer, and never had an issue. However, one of the tires this year seems to have a leak to it, and it's not a nail, and it's not a bead leak, and it's not the valve or whatever they got nowadays in your tire, if that's the pressure sensor or the valve. And so I've been told that it must be the tire itself that is faulty. So I guess that means that they need to be replaced, as well as the rear shocks are needing to be replaced again. This is the second time they've been done in the 3 years that the truck has been around. And I'm kind of questioning the quality of the shocks that they're putting on the truck during warranty claims. However, they're probably going to be the last pair of shocks that the dealership gets to put on, because it'll be off a warranty here next year or so. And when they go next year or the year after, I will put a better set on, maybe with a lift kit as well. One of the things I would like them to look at this year is the battery and the alternator. My battery gauge seems to go the line before the 14 and the line after the 14 to like 15. So it fluctuates between 12 and 15 quite constantly. Especially I've noticed this fall here that it's doing it. And it's not because I've got a big stereo, because it doesn't even have a stereo, just a factory unit. And the AC's not on, and the heater's not cranked, so I don't remember it ever doing that extreme of a fluctuation before, or that regularly. So given my past experience with batteries and alternators, I would like the battery changed just as a precaution, because once again, that battery is 4 years old and could have possibility been manufactured in 2016. And the alternator itself, I would like load tested just to make sure that it's not weak as well. Most batteries only last 4 to 5 years anyways, so I'm thinking that this battery here is needing to be looked at for sure. Once again, with the tires on the truck, these tires here, or this truck, only has just shy of 40,000 kilometers on it. Now, these tires are in worse shape than my other truck that had 60,000 kilometers on it. Now, I don't know if it's the quality of the tire to begin with, or the fact that I know I've pushed these tires a little bit longer than maybe I should have. Maybe they should have been changed at 30. You know, who knows, right? So, vehicle maintenance is important. I have done a lot of driving of this truck on back roads, on gravel. The 2019 vacation took some, I'm sure, wear on the tires. And all that, plus pulling a trailer, starts to add up on, vehicle, on the tires, on the suspension after a while. So this isn't speaking negatively about the vehicle manufacturer. This is just stating facts of what I've done with the truck. Sure, it would be nice to have a set of tires that you didn't have to replace, once every 10 years kind of a thing, and same with the battery, once every 10 years kind of a thing. But that's not really the way the world works. They make their money on the maintenance. They make their money on the servicing and the consuming of goods on the vehicles. Aftermarket accessories have an extreme amount of markup and things like that. I would like to get all the stuff done before the snow flies. However, I have been struggling. I have been still recovering from, whatever it was that I had there. And I've been trying to do one thing a day, because sometimes that's all that I have to give. And if that one thing a day is just walking the dog and make sure the dog's needs are took care of, then hey, I guess that was a good day, right? And if I manage to make my way down to the post office box to check the fan mail, or to get the stack of bills that are needing to be paid and banking, then that was an extremely good day. I am probably going to focus here on getting those tires. Probably gonna focus here on getting the dealership stuff took care of on the truck. Get the truck all ready for winter, just in case there are several road trips needed for this fall. I have been struggling. I've not had this kind of chronic pain in a few years. Trying to think my way around it is taking a lot longer than normal. Not sure what to do or where to turn. Don't want to go on heavy prescription painkillers like my dad was on. He was on those nasty pain stuff that I'd have to sign for when I went to go pick up his medications. He was on patches and pills and all sorts of stuff for the last few years of his life. And as a result, he could no longer be as independent as he once was. He could no longer drive, and I was very, very worried about him being alone by himself because of these issues. I don't want to go that route. I want to try to stay and keep my independence. However, at the same time, I need to have some resemblance of a life, being able to live my life and being able to have a life for a few more years. But these are just my thoughts that I've decided to record. I'm going to try to do what I can to make some kind of resemblance of a video out of these series of ramblings. But it is what it is, and around we go. Thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.